Already we saw on this topic, and first topic I'm going to take the mission instruction and addressing modes. So before going to that topic, first of all, what is meant by computer organization and architecture we need to know. So computer organization and architecture is nothing but how the internal working and structuring and implementation of a computer system is done. That is what about the computer organization and architecture. And it is a way how the practically it is implemented to result to have a realization of architectural specification of a particular computer system. We can have it. And under the instruction format topic, normally computer performs a task on the basis of the instruction what we are providing. But in computer, it will be forming as a group that only we are telling as a field. So field contains different information as per computer concerned. Everything will be in a form of zeros and ones. So each field has a different significance on the basis of which a CPU decide what to perform. So what are the common fields here we having is that operation field, address field and the mode field. So operation field is nothing but what operation a particular instruction will perform. For example, addition, subtraction, so like that it will be moving. So next is your address field. So address field which contains a location of a particular operand. Okay, it may be a memory or it may be a register. So next is your mode field. So which specify how operand is to be found. Okay, so this is about the field. So next, the instruction can be of various length depending upon the number of addresses it contains. So generally, the CPU organization will be of three types on the basis of the number of address field it contains. Okay, so the first one is single accumulator organization, second one general register organization, third one stack organization. So in first organization, the operation is done involving a special register that only we are telling as an accumulator. In second, it is based on the multiple register which is used for the computation purpose. And the third organization will be based on the stack basis operations due to which it does not contain any address field. So on the basis of the number of address instructions, which is classified as the four types. So one is the zero address instruction, and next is the one address instructions, and next is the two address instruction, and next is the three address instructions. Okay, so we having the three types of four types of address instruction over here. So I'm going to take on the first one, that is the zero address instructions, where the data will be stored. Okay, so using the stack, we are having this format here. So we know about the stack, the two operations will be performed. One is a push and another one is a pop. One is the pop operation. So here we having the expression like A into B in the sense what the we are inserting first the element A. Okay, so that we are pushing the element A. Okay, so next what happens means we are pushing the operand B. Okay, so while it is popping out, it will be as A into B. So how it is happening, we are going to see here. So I have taken with one example. Okay, so here it is an expression where I have taken with an expression A plus B into C plus D. So how it will be postfix means AB plus CD plus dash. So this is as per the priority, it will be coming like this. Okay, so here we are using the top pointer. Okay, so top means which element at the top. Okay, so like that. So M of X here means the memory location. It indicates the memory location. So first what happens here, A plus B into C plus D, in the sense first I am just pushing the operand A. So what will be at the top? If I am pushing the operand A alone means in the top will be having A. Okay, so the top pointer will be having what means A. Okay, so top equal to A. Next what happens means I am pushing B. So now the top will be what now? B. So next what happens means I'm performing the operation addition. Okay, so A plus B means I'm just doing the operation add. So in top A equal to A plus B. So it will be what? A plus B. Next what happens? I'm just pushing C. Okay, so at the top will be having C. Next I am pushing the operand D. So at the top we'll be having D. Okay, next is C plus D in the sense I'm doing the addition of two operands C and D. So at the top will be of C plus D. So we having two things. Okay, so one is at the bottom, that is A plus B, and another is the next position, that is C plus D. So while I'm just pushing this star, what happens? It is doing the multiplication of the previous two operands. So what we having A plus B, and next one is C plus D. So at the top it is doing the multiplication operation between this A plus B and C plus D. Okay, so that will be at the top. So next what happens means whatever is at the top I am just removing. That is the popping operation. Popping means removing the element at the top. So I am just removing an element at the top. So what will be the value? What is calculated? Okay, so after doing the addition, we'll be having this part, and after doing the addition of two operands C and D, we'll be having this part, and then we'll be having doing the multiplication of it. That value will be present in the X. Okay, so that only the value will be there. So next what happens means I will be removing that elements. Okay, I'm just doing the popping operation. So I'm just removing the element which is at the top, and I'm just storing that in one memory location. That only we are telling as M of X. So our topmost element will be stored in the M of X. Okay, so this is about the zero address instructions where we'll be using the stack. Okay, this will come under the stack organization. So next is our one address instruction. So here we are using a special register called our accumulator. Okay, for storing we will be using the accumulator over here. Okay, so one operand is will be in the accumulator and the other will be in the register or some memory locations. Okay, so like that we'll be doing the operation for one address instruction. So we will take the example and we will see. Okay, mainly two types of operations will be performed in single accumulator based on the CPU organization. One is what now? Data transfer operations. So in this type of operations, data will be transferred from the source to destination. So for example, load of X. Okay, so if I'm just having the load, what happens means the memory read operation, that is data is transferred from memory to the accumulator. So while I'm giving store, what happens means we are doing the writing operation, that is memory write operation. Okay, where the data will be transferred from the accumulator to the memory. So two types of operations will be doing over here. One is load and another one is a store. Okay, so these two things will be coming under the data transfer operations. So next is your ALU operation. So ALU operation in the sense arithmetic operations are performed on the data. Okay. So for example, multiplication. If I'm just telling MULT means it is doing the multiplication operations. If I'm having the X in the sense is the address of the particular operand. Okay. So if I'm having AC, it's the accumulator. So the value which is present in the accumulator and the value which is present in the memory. So all those things will be what multiplied and it will be stored again to the accumulator. So only here the storage purpose I am using the accumulator. This thing you need to have in your mind in concern with our one address instruction. So here it will be having like opcode and the next field will be of operand or the address of the operand and next thing will be the mode field. Okay, so like this we'll be having the three field over here. So same expression again I'm taking for this one address instruction. Okay, so same expression A plus B into C plus D. Okay, so using the accumulator I'm going to perform here. Here the memory location I'm just going to take as M of. Okay, so M of T is another memory location which indicates like a temporary location I'm just taking here. Okay, so first what happens means I already told what is meant by load and what is meant by store. So load is nothing but what the data is transferred from memory to the accumulator. The store is nothing but what data is transferred from accumulator to memory. Okay, it's doing a read operation and it's doing a write operation that you need to keep in your mind, which is very essential. So see here, to this part is concerned. So load A. So load A in the sense the data which is present in that particular memory location of that A, I'm just storing that to the accumulator. So that one only we have studied here. Okay. So next to what, because why I'm using here, using the accumulator only, I can store in one place means, so using the accumulator only, I could able to store in the one address instruction. That you need to keep in your mind. So next to what it's going to do now, between A and B, it is going to perform the operation addition. Okay, so add B means what? Means it's going to add A and B. So that operation I'm going to perform. If I'm just giving the instruction like add B means whatever is present in the accumulator, that value plus the memory or location of this B operand, whatever the value we having in B, so that will be added. So that is the meaning of that. So both the things will be added and that will be again stored in the accumulator. So that is the meaning of this one. So next to what happens means I need to do the store operation. Okay. So for what purpose I'm doing the store operation over here means that whatever the value present in that particular accumulator that I'm going to store in on temporary place. Okay. So that only temporary memory location. So for what purpose I'm just storing means I'm having the another expression C plus D. So for that, what I'm going to do means whatever the value present in accumulator, I'm going to write in another memory location. So for that, I am in need of store. So in one address instruction, fully will be having this with load and store and all those operations. So storing the value in the temporary memory location, that is M of t. So next, what happens means we are taking the next expression, that is C plus D. So here I'm just loading with a C. Okay. So whatever the content present in this memory location of C, that will be stored in the accumulator. And then if I'm just putting add of D, means what? Means the operand value, okay, the in the memory location D, that will be added with the accumulator and again it will be stored in the accumulator. Okay. So this is actually the expansion of what this particular instruction will do. I have written over here. So next, what I have written means I'm going to do the multiplication operation between these A plus B and C plus D. So already this A plus B is present in the accumulator. Okay. So I'm going to perform the multiplication of whatever the already present in this M of t. Okay, already A plus B value is present in M of t actually. So next is what means this accumulator. Okay, so M of t and the accumulator, I'm going to perform the multiplication operation. So if I'm just giving mul of t means whatever the content present in this memory location, that is temporary memory location t, and the value present in the accumulator will be multiplied and that will be stored in the accumulator AC. That's the meaning of this one. Okay. So next to what happens means whatever the value present in this accumulator, I'm going to store in the one memory location. Okay, that is the last process I need to do in one address instruction. So store X means what? Means the value present in that accumulator will be so the value present in the accumulator will be stored in the memory location of that X. Okay, so this is the meaning of this one address instruction. Okay, so next we are going with this two address instruction. So two address instruction can be specified in an instruction where we'll be using with the registers. Okay. So here we will be using with the registers where the field will be of one opcode field. Okay. Opcode field means what? What operation we are going to perform. So that only will be the first thing. So next is your destination address will be having, next is your source address and next is the mode. Okay. So this is about this two address instructions. So what we have it. So for example, this expression I'm just taking x equal to a plus b into c plus d. So here I'm going to do, I'm going to store the value present of this operand in one register. Okay, so I'm going to use the registers. So I'm going to move the value of this operand A and to the destination, because see here, so this move is nothing but the opcode and this R1, this first place, that is your second place. This is actually the destination address and this one is the source address. Okay. So here the source address in the sense A. So whatever the operand, because this according to this expression, I need to write this one. Okay. So the whatever the value present in this A, I'm just storing in the register R1. Okay, using this move. So meaning of this what means whatever the content present in this memory location A, I'm just storing in the register R1. So next what happens means I'm doing the addition operation between this operand A and B. Okay, so already it is present in where in the register R1. This A content is actually present in the R1. So add R1 comma B means what is the meaning of this means whatever the content present in this B will be added with this R1. Okay, and that will be stored in again in the R1 register. So that is the meaning of this operation of this instruction actually. Okay, so next we are going to take this one C plus D. Okay, so C plus D in the sense what happens means again I'm going to move the content of this C to another register, that is R2. So move R2 comma C means what means whatever the content present in this C and is storing in the register R2. So that is the meaning of this one. Next what happens means add R2 comma D. So meaning is what I told you, this is for destination address and this is for source address. Okay. So already in R2 we having C, right? So if I am giving R2 comma D means yeah, the content already present in R2 and the D where the both thing will be what added. So what operation I am going to perform? Addition operations. So what is the meaning of this add R2 comma D means R2 equal to R2 plus D. That is the meaning of this particular instruction. So next what we are doing means we are giving the instruction like mul R1 comma R2. So meaning is what means I am going to multiply these two things. Okay. So I am going to multiply A plus B and C plus D. I am going to do the multiplication operation. So where is this A plus B? It is actually in R1. So see here it is in R1. Where is this C plus D? It is already in R2. So if I am just giving R1 comma R2 means what is the meaning means I am going to do the multiplication of this two register and then content present in this two register and I am just going to store in the R1. Okay, because this is the destination field now, so it will be stored here only. So what is the meaning of this instruction? R1 equal to R1 into R2. Next, what I'm going to do, whatever the content present in this R1, because this is a final. Okay, I'm going to store in one place, where in X. So I'm going to store, I need to store in the memory location of this X. So I'm going to move the content, whatever it is there in this register R1 to this X. So move X comma R1 means the content present in this R1 will be moved to this X. Okay, so that is the meaning of this to address instruction. So next is our three address instructions. So three address field to specify the register or a memory locations we are going here. So where we'll be having with the one opcode and three address. Three address instruction in the sense we'll be having one for destination address and two things for the source address will be having. Okay, so as we having three things, only we are telling with the name three address instruction as we having three address. In the previous case, we having two address, so the name two address instructions. In previous case, we having with what? One address, so we are having with the one address instruction. In previous case, we don't have any address. Using the stack only, we are doing all those operations. So we are telling this as a zero address instruction. So we having definite valuable reason for each one behind. Okay, so here under the three address instruction, so we having one opcode field that is for operation doing the operation, and next is the destination address, and next two field for source address. Okay, so see here x equal to a plus b into c plus d. How I'm just doing here means I'm going to perform the addition. Okay, so three address I can use. Okay, so I can minimize the instruction when I'm just going for this three address instruction. So see here, I'm going to perform addition between the two operand A and B. Okay, so A and B, I'm going to perform addition. Okay, because two address source address I can have, so I just put A comma B. Okay, so here I'm going to do the addition, and I'm going to store that content in the destination address, that is R1. So the meaning of this instruction is what means R1 equal to the memory, the content present in this A and the content present in this B. Okay, that is the value. Okay, that will be added and will be stored in this R1 register. Okay, so next is what means for the C plus D. So what happens means I'm just going to do the addition between this C and D. So here C and D is the source address. So I'm just going to do the addition, and then I'm going to store the content again in the register R2. So the meaning of this instruction is what means R2 equal to the content present in the memory location of C plus the content present in the memory location of D. So that both the thing will be added and that will be stored in the R2. So we got R1 and R2. Okay, that is A plus B and C plus D we got. So next I want to do the multiplication operation. Okay, between these A plus B and C plus D. So I'm just going to do the multiplication operation, that is mul. Okay, so mul. So R1 comma R2, I'm going to do the multiplication operation, and I'm going to store in the memory, okay, in one memory location, that is X, because here we are given with X. So X. So in the memory location of this X, this two value will be multiplied and will be stored. This is about the three address instructions. Okay. So next, we are going to see how we can solve the problems on this instruction format. Okay. So an instruction format defines what different components of an instructions. Okay. So here the opcode is nothing but what operation we are going to do. Okay. Addition, move, load, store, whatever the case. So that is about the opcode. Operands means what? With what data I'm going to do that operation. So that we are telling as an operand. Okay. So here we'll be using with the different terms like instruction set size. What is meant by this instruction set size means it will be telling the total number of instruction defined in the processor. Okay, so how many instruction defined in the processor, it will be telling, that is about the instruction set size. So next is your opcode size. So opcode size in the sense it is the number of bits occupied by the opcode. Okay, which will be calculated by taking the log of that particular instruction set size. This is about the opcode size. Next is your operand size. So operand size in the sense it is the number of bits which is occupied by the particular operand. Next is your instruction size. So how it will be calculated? Now? We will be summing all the bits of the opcode plus how many operands we have. So we are having many registers. For that register, what is the bytes? Okay, what is the bits? So that value will be added. So that will be the last instruction size. Okay, so based on this, we are going to see the problem. So type 1 will be based on the where the instruction set size will be given and operand size will be given and the count will be given. So we need to calculate only the instruction size. That is type 1 problem. Okay. So here I have taken with the GATE service of 2016. Okay. So in this type we are given with the instruction set size and the number of operand, and we need to find out with the instruction size over here. So here the first question will be dealing with what means we are going to consider a processor with 64 registers. Okay, and an instruction set size of 12. Okay, so each instruction has 5 distinct fields. So what are the fields we having now? One is opcode and 2 source register we having and 1 destination register we having, and then our 12-bit immediate value. So if I want to give the value means I can directly give, okay, that we are telling as an immediate. So this will come under the addressing mode. Okay, so our 12-bit immediate value is also given. Okay, so each instruction must be stored in a memory in a byte aligned fashion. So if a program contains 100 instructions, what will be the amount of memory? Okay, that we need to calculate in bytes. We know 1 byte equal to 8 bits. That you need to have in your mind. Okay, so which is consumed by our program text, we need to calculate based on this given data. Okay, so here, so they have given in the question itself the instruction set size of what na 12. Okay, they have given here as 12. So we know it is 12. So normally for opcode, it requires 4 bits. Okay. So what will be the size in the sense? 2 power 4. Okay. If I want to calculate 2 power, that number of bits. Okay. So 2 power 4, it will be what? Na? 16. Okay. And the total registers here, they have given as 64 registers they have given. Okay. So here total register is what? 64 registers they have given. So 6 bits are required for this register, because 2 power 6, it will be what? 64, right? So 6 bits are required for identifying this register. We have calculated. Next, how many registers we having in the question? 2 source registers, 1 destination register. So total registers are 3 registers we have it. Okay, so 2 source, 1 destination. Okay, so totally 3 registers. So already we know for each register we need of 6 bits. Okay, based on the 64 we have calculated. So 3 into 6, it will be what? 18 bits are required for register identifiers. So next they have given with the immediate value. For that we are required with the 12 bits. So 12 bits are required for immediate value. And the total instruction bits I need to calculate. So 4 bits for opcode and 18 bits for register and 12 bits for immediate. This 12 bit already given in the question itself. This thing we have calculated. We know we have calculated. And next is your 18 is the thing what we have calculated. So we are adding. So we are getting 34 bits. But this is for only single instruction. But in my question, how many instruction they have given? 100 instruction they have given. So for 100 instruction means how many number of bits it will be there means 34 into 100. So it will be 3400 bits it will be there. So 1 byte equal to 8 bits. Okay, so in terms of bytes I need to calculate means this number of bits divided by 8. So that will be what now? 425 bytes. Okay, so I need to have the option where I'm having 100, 200, 400, 500. So here as memory must be greater than or equal to this 425, because I'm just getting as 425. So I will not go with this 400 because I'm getting the value as 425. So it may be equal to 425 or else it may be above 425. I can go with the option 500. That is the option D. Okay. So this is type 1 question. And in some cases in GATE, they are asking this type 2 question where they are giving with the instruction size and opcode size and the size of some operand they will be giving. So based on this, I need to find out with the size and the maximum value of the remaining operand I need to find out. Okay. So see here, a processor has 40 distinct instructions and 24 general purpose register. They have given in the question. And 32-bit instruction word has an opcode and 2 register operands and an immediate operand we have it. So number of bits available for the immediate operand field I need to calculate. So total I need to calculate, from that I need to minus and I will be getting the value for this immediate operand field. So we will see to the solution. So here we having here 40 instructions. So number of bits for opcode, it will be what now? So here they are given with what now? 64, 40 instructions plus this 24 registers. So totally it will be of 64. So I need to get the value with 64 means 2 power 6 it will be getting as 64. So number of bits for opcode, it will be 6 we got. So next is what you will be having with as the processor has 24 registers they have given. So number of bits for one registers, it will be what now? 2 power 5. So we'll be getting with what? 32. Because 32-bit instruction word, right? So I need to get the value 32 means 2 power 5 will be giving the value 32. So 5. So number of bits for one register will be what? 5. But in my processor, I am having how many registers? 24. So total bits occupied by this opcode plus the two registers. Okay. So opcode plus the two register. Here in the question they are asking. See here, opcode plus two register and an immediate operand. So opcode is what? 6. We have calculator with 6. And for register is what? 5. We have calculator with 5. But it is two register. For one register money, the number of bits is 5. So two register means 5 plus 5. So it will be totally what? 16. So total instruction size they have given as what? 32-bit instruction size. Right. So I need to find out with the immediate. So I know the value number of bits for this register, and I know the number of bits for opcode. Using this, I need to find out for immediate operand. So it will be what? 32 minus 16. It will be 16 bits. So that will be the value for immediate operand. So my answer will be what? 16. Is it clear? So next is same thing. Okay. So same thing based on this type 2. I have even with this question 3. Okay. So here also what happens means same 32-bit architecture and one word long instruction, and it has 64 registers and each with 32-bit long, and it needs to support 45 instructions and which have an immediate operand in addition to this two register operand. So we are going to assume with the immediate operand is an unsigned integer, and the maximum value of the immediate operand I need to calculate here. And this is a question asked in 2014 GATE. Okay, in computer science they have asked this question. So here they have given a 32-bit architecture, therefore one word equal to 32-bit. Okay, that is equal to the instruction size. So here the processor having the total register as 64 registers. So number of bits for one register it will be, to calculate the 64 now, 2 power 6, that is 6 bits. Okay, so 6 is the number of bits for one register. Next they have given with the instruction it supports it's 45. Okay, so as a has 45 instructions, so number of bits for opcode will be 6. Okay, so same thing over here. So 2 power 6 it will be what? 64. So here the 6 code also he had taken. Okay, so now we need to calculate for the number of total number of bits occupied by the two register plus opcode. So one register is 6 means for two register it will be 6 plus 6. Opcode it is again 6. So plus 6. So 6 plus 6 plus 6 it will be what? 80. So as the instruction size given here is what? 32. So 32 is the total size they have given. So I need to subtract this one, means I'll be getting what? 14 bits. Okay. So maximum unsigned value using this 14 bits means I am having the formula here. So 2 power that number of bits, okay, for immediate, that number of bits minus 1. Okay, so that is actually the formula to calculate the maximum value. So 2 power that number of bits minus 1. So it will be what? 16,383. Okay, so that will be the answer for this question. Okay, so this is actually the type 3 question where the instruction format with different categories of instruction is given over here. So where here a processor has 16 integer registers. Okay, so R0, R1 like that till R15 we have it. So next is 64 floating point registers we having. So same thing, F0 till what? F63 we having here. So it uses 2-byte instruction format, and there are 4 categories of these instructions like type 1, type 2, type 3 and type 4. So type 1 category will be consisting of again 4 instructions, each with 3 integer register operands. Okay, that only we are telling here as 3 registers. And type 2 category consists of 8 instructions, each with 2 floating point register operands, and type 3 category consists of 14 instructions, each with 1 integer register operand and 1 floating point register operand. And type 4 category consists of n instructions, n instruction each with a floating point register operand. Okay. So maximum value of n I need to calculate here. Okay. So as machine has 2 bytes and just I can tell 1 byte equal to 8 bits. So totally 2 into 8 it is 16-bit instruction format. Therefore possible encoding will be what? 2 power that number of bits. So 2 power 16. So as a processor has 16 integer register, they have given in the question 16 integer register. Okay. So number of bits for one register will be what to get the value 16. It is what 2 power 4, it will be 16. So 4. So they have given for floating point how many bits we have given now. For 64 floating point registers we have. Okay. So similarly 64 value I need to get. So 2 power what will give 64? 6. 2 power 6 will give 64. So 6 bits for one floating point registers. Okay. So in type 1 category, how they have given 4 instructions, each with 3 integer registers. Okay. 4 instructions with each 3 integer registers. So 4 into, okay. So for integer register, how many bits? 4. So 4 into how many integer register we having? 3. So 4 into 3 is what? 12 bits. So how many it will consume in the sense what? 4 into 2 power 12. Okay, equal to what means? This will be 2 power 2. This is 2 power 12. Because why 2 power 12? This 12 bits. So 2 power 12. Okay, so 4 instruction. So I have written here 4. This 4 I can rewrite as 2 power 2. So 2 power 2 into 2 power 12, it will be what means 2 power 14 encodings will be there for type 1 category. Next for type 2 category, will be having 8 instructions, each having 2 floating points. This is actually given the question itself. See here, type 2 category consists of 8 instructions, each with 2 floating point register operands will be having here. So see here, 2 floating point register. So 6. Why have we written as 6? Because for one floating point register, the value is what? 6 bits. So for 2 means 6 into 2, that will give us 12. Okay, again, how many instruction? 8. So 8 into 2 power this 12 bits. So it will be what? How I can write this 8? 2 power 3. So 2 power 3 into 2 power 12 will be what? 2 power 15 encodings will be there. Okay, so that is about the type 2 category. Next is what? Type 3 category. So type 3 category, what we having? 14 instructions, one integer register and one floating point register. Okay, so type 3, 14 instruction, each having one integer and one floating. So one integer, one integer register, how many bits? 4. For floating, 6. So 4 plus 6. So that only they have written. 4 plus 6, that is 10 bits. So how many instruction? 14. So 14 into 2 power 10. So that will be what? 14,336 encodings. Okay. So next is what? Type 4 category. So number of encodings left. Okay. So type 4 category consists of n instruction, each with a floating point register operand. Okay. So here type 4 category, each having one floating point register operand, that is 6 bits. So it will consume. So how many instruction we don't know. So I'm just taking as n, capital N. Into I know the floating point register. Okay, so it is 6, right? So 2 past 6, it will be what? I'm just calculating with the value. I know the full value, that is 2048, which I have taken from the previous category, that is type 4. So for this type 4 category, the number of encoding left I need to calculate. From that only I need to calculate this instruction. Okay, so I'm just repeating again for type 4 category. So number of encodings left I need to calculate. So 2 power 16 minus 2 power 14 minus 2 power 15. If I'm just doing minus the last encoding value I have get for 14 instruction. Okay. So if I'm just minusing all those things, I'll be getting with 2048. Okay. So I know this for one floating point register. Okay. So I don't how many instruction I don't know. So that one I'm just taking as n. So n into 2 power 6 equal to 2048. So n equal to 2048 divided by 2 power 6 will get the answer as 32. So that is the n value. So we have calculated the maximum value of n is 32. Okay. So like this we'll be getting the problems based on this instruction format. So this you need to get thorough. Okay, with these types of category definitely it will come for your gate. So next is your addressing modes. Okay, so addressing modes in the sense what means a different way in which the location of a particular operand is specified in an instruction. That only we are referring as an addressing modes. So what are the types of addressing modes we have? So we have taken with the 8 modes. Register addressing modes, absolute or direct addressing modes, immediate addressing modes, indirect addressing modes, index addressing modes, relative addressing modes, auto increment addressing modes, next auto decrement addressing modes. So these are the 8 types will be coming under the types of addressing modes. So first we will go with the register addressing modes. So operand is the content of the processor register. Okay, the name or an address of the register is given in an instruction. So it is used to access the variable in a program. For example, if I'm just giving like move r1 comma r2 in the sense what means if I'm just taking this as a source field, okay, this as a destination in the sense this content will be moving to this part. So how we are taking like that, you need to give the explanation part. So according to our previous thing, how we have taken, this is the destination and this is the source field. If I am taking in that sense means whatever it will copy the content present in this R2 register to this R1. Okay, so we can take in these two ways. Okay, so in based on the register, if I'm doing means this will come under the category register addressing mode. So if I'm just dealing with the values present, okay, in that particular memory location, I need to give that address. Okay, so that will come under the absolute or direct addressing mode. Okay, so operand normally it will be there in the memory location. Okay, so it is also used to access the variable in a program. If I'm giving a move a comma 2000 means whatever the, if I am taking this as a source, this as a destination means whatever the instruction, it will copy the content present in this memory location A to this memory location 2000. 2000 is nothing but the address. Okay, so that only we are telling as a direct address. We are just storing the content. So that only we are telling absolute or direct addressing. So next is what means it's a immediate addressing mode. Okay, immediate addressing mode, immediately we are giving the values, we are moving that value. So that is the meaning of this immediate addressing mode. So move hash 200 comma or not, if I'm just giving means what I'm doing means here the content, okay, and directly passing the value to this register R0. So that is the meaning of this. Okay, so we need to have this hash in front of any value. So if I'm just having a equal to b plus 6, this is the expression I'm having means I can go with this instruction add hash 6 comma b means first I'm just adding the value 6 to this b. Okay, and again the content will be there in the b only, so I need to move this content present in this b again to a. So move b comma a means content present in this memory location b will be moved to a. That is the meaning of this immediate addressing mode. So fourth one is your indirect addressing mode. So in this mode, the instruction does not give the operand or its address explicitly. Okay. So here I need to calculate the effective address of an operand, which is must. Okay. So effective address of an operand is the content of the register or the memory location whose address appears in the particular instruction. So I need to calculate and then only I can store the particular content. So see here, if I'm just having a add r1 comma r0, if I'm just giving means what happens means in this r1 actually I will be having some it will be having some memory location. Okay, so r1 if I'm just putting in this bracket, okay, so that only indicates a indirect actually. So it is indicating to b. Okay, b will be having some operand. So without directly mentioning, indirectly I'll be mentioning. So whatever the content present here, that will be stored to r or not. So that is the meaning of this. So how I will be calculating the effective address means some value plus the name of that particular register. Okay, that constant value only we will be telling as offset or displacement value that I will be adding with the content with this memory location Ri. So effective address equal to x plus Ri. That is the meaning of this. So indirection through memory location is also possible here. Next is what now? Index addressing mode. So index addressing mode is generated by adding a constant value to the content of the register. And this one only we have saw previously. Okay, this thing only I have told. Effective address equal to the displacement value, that is x, plus the memory location, the content present in this register. Alright, that only we are telling here. Okay, so x indicates offset or displacement value. Okay. So next is what here I have given with this one example. Okay, where offset I have just given as a constant. Add 20 of R1 comma R2. What is the meaning over here? If I'm just having the expression like this means R1 will be having the address like 1000. Okay, so 20 of R1 means 20 plus whatever the value present here. This is 1000, right? So 20 plus 1000 will be what? 1020. So it will be indicating the content operand present in this address 1020. So that is the meaning of this. So content present in this operand will be added with R2 and it will be stored in R2 register itself. That is the meaning. Okay. So offset can be a constant or it can be a index register. Okay. So next thing, if the offset is an index register, if I am having with add 1000 of R1 comma R2 means the R1 will be having with the value 20. Okay, so 1000 of 20 means 1000 plus 20. That like that only I need to calculate the effective address. So 1020. Okay, so 1020 the content will be whatever it is present that will be added with the content present in R2. That is the meaning of this instruction. So next is your relative addressing mode. Okay, so it is a very useful version of this mode is obtained if a particular program counter is used instead of the general register. Okay, instead of the register I'll be using the program counter, that is your PC. I'm just telling as a PC, that is a program counter is used to address a memory location. Okay, so whatever the content next to be executed, that address will be stored in that particular program counter. Okay, fine. So actually here, if I'm having, I have taken with one example, some branch instruction is there greater than 0. If this condition is true means I need to go to one path. Okay, if I'm having loop means as a statement means if this condition is true, I need to go to this label loop. Okay, so if the condition is true means it will be coming to this place. Else means if the condition is false means it will be coming, it will execute the next instruction. So that type of instruction will be coming under the relative addressing mode. So next is your auto increment addressing modes. Okay. So here also we need to calculate the effective address of an operand is nothing but the content of the register specified in an instruction. Okay. So after accessing this operand only, this content of this register will be automatically incremented to the point to the next item in a list. Okay. So R1 plus means the content of this register R1 are used as an effective address and this content ought to be incremented after this operand is accessed. That is meaning of this auto increment addressing mode, where we can have a post increment or a pre increment we can have. Okay, and next is your auto decrement. Same thing. Instead of incrementing, will be decrementing. Here also post and pre decrement we can have. So here with one example. So registers R1, R2 of a computer contains a value for R1 I am just taken with 1200 and for R2 I have taken with 2400. I need to calculate the effective address. Okay. So load 20 of R1 comma R5 means what? Means R1 we having with the value what? 1020, 1200. Okay, I need to calculate the effective address. So that is the question we have asked. So 1200 plus this 20 will be what? 1220. So that is the effective address for this one. For this one, it is what? Pre-decrement. So already R2 value is what? 2400. So 2400 minus 1, it will be 2399. So next for this, how I need to calculate means whatever the immediate value I'm having, that will be the effective address. So 3000. Okay. So next is WhatsApp R1 plus, okay, comma R5. So here it is what? Post increment. Okay. So pre means first it will decrement. Okay. Post means first it will be using that content of the address and then only it will be increment. This will come under post increment. So actually it is what? For R1 it is 1200. That only here. Okay. So for the same thing, register R1 and R2 of computer contains R1 for 1200. Again R2 for what? 4600 I'm having. I need to calculate for load of 20 of R1 comma R5. So same thing here. Same thing here, 20 of R1. So it will be what 1200 in the sense 20 plus 1200. So that content will be loaded in R5. So same thing here, 4600 minus 1. Okay, so that will be for effective address of this instruction. So for this, the answer will be 4599. For this, it will be what 1220. Okay, so the advantage of this addressing mode is that it to give a programmer to facilitate advantage of this addressing mode is that to give programmers to facilitate the pointers or counters for loop controls or indexing of data and program relocation, all those things we can do. And to reduce the number of bits in the addressing field of the instruction, we can do here. Okay, this is one advantage of this addressing. Okay, so we came into the end of the slide. So this is about this first topic under the GATE syllabus. Having any doubts, so we have covered this one, mission instructions under addressing modes. Having any doubts, Ma?